My name is Kiyasuki. I have a father who is poor but educated and works as a doctor. On the other hand, my peer has a father who only studied up to primary school but is a wealthy entrepreneur. My father would always tell me, "My child, you must go to school, graduate from university like I did, and get a good job." He believed that studying hard, graduating, and securing a good job were the keys to success. However, I grew up constantly hearing his complaints about poverty and financial difficulties. Just like this book is titled Rich Dad, Poor Dad, many of us live through similar experiences. Often, we end up misguiding those we teach, not out of bad intentions but due to ignorance. My poor father believed that education was the key to wealth. Though he is a doctor, he is always burdened with debts and struggles financially. He has resigned himself to the fact that he will never become wealthy, yet he comforts himself by saying that the pride one gets from education is far greater than money. My poor father's perspective on life was to work hard and use that money to pay debts. When I turned 9, I began spending time with my peer's wealthy father. There, I was exposed to lessons vastly different from those my poor father taught me. That experience gave me what I call two fathers, one rich and one poor. The lessons I learned from the wealthy father were far more impactful than the advice from my poor father. Having two fathers helped me clearly distinguish between their different mindsets, especially regarding hard work, education, and investment. The long conversations I had with the wealthy father taught me invaluable lessons that I wish to share so that others may also benefit. These conversations revolved around understanding the concepts of assets and liabilities. Lesson on assets and liabilities from the Rich Dad. The Rich Dad taught me, assets are things that generate income for you. Liabilities are things that take money away from you. The Rich Dad explained that wealthy people value assets that bring them money and focus on investing. Meanwhile, poor people value liabilities that take money out of their pockets. The Rich Dad told me that achieving financial growth requires enough knowledge about investments, whether you like it or not. The Rich Dad also shared lessons that I feel are important to understand. Lesson 1: The difference between a rich dad and a poor dad. The poor dad constantly lamented and unintentionally discouraged his children, not because he was bad, but because he didn't understand the secrets of wealth. He didn't focus on discovering his children's interests or abilities. Instead, he thought his children should replicate him, study the same subjects, get the same degree, and then get a job to pay off debts and please their bosses. The Rich Dad, however, always encouraged me to avoid defeatist language and self-doubt. He told me that it's not good to live life filling your pockets with little money while filling others' pockets with most of it. Instead, he encouraged me to reverse this and let others fill my pockets first. Lesson 2: The rich don't work for money, money works for them. The poor dad often said, "I'll eat little and sleep early," not because he was disciplined, but because of fear of the unknown and a lack of ambition. The Rich Dad, on the other hand, would say, "Opportunities come once in a lifetime, and you must be smart enough to seize them and turn them into the best possible outcomes." This could be rephrased as, "I'll earn more and sleep well later." Lesson 3: The importance of learning about investments. After many years, my friend and I managed to achieve visible financial success thanks to the lessons we learned from the Rich Dad. Meanwhile, the poor dad's children would spend any small income they earned, take on debts, and fail at ventures before they even started. The Rich Dad taught me that it's not wise to start building a house without first establishing a strong foundation. Similarly, it's not about thinking of what to do with money after you get it but about planning what to do before you earn it. Lesson 4: Focus on what brings you profit. The Rich Dad taught me that the time I spend thinking about how to improve my boss's business is the same time I could use to think about starting my own. He said, "What matters is what generates income for you, not what drains money from you." Lesson 5: Prioritize knowledge before money. The Rich Dad taught me that it's not good to focus on working for money without first understanding how to multiply it. He compared this to enjoying delicious food without ever stepping into the kitchen. He also emphasized having role models, people you look up to. This inspires you to believe that if they succeeded, so can you. After all these lessons, I conclude by expressing my gratitude for having had two fathers, one rich and one poor. I remember how my poor father would always talk about how his family valued knowledge and intellect over wealth. On the other hand, my rich father would focus on teaching me the true essence of money and the purpose of accumulating it. I recall how my poor father often said people go to school to become doctors, engineers, and other professionals, but no one ever goes to school to learn how to become wealthy. My rich father always advised me to avoid defeatist talk and to recognize the positive or negative impacts that such words can have on our lives. In our final conversation, my rich father told me that the lessons written in this book are not taught at any university. I was fortunate enough to have a rich dad. If you have one, listen to what he tells you. And if you don't, read this book. It contains invaluable advice that could change your life. If you have a book or article that you'd like to see us summarize, leave it in the comments below, and it may just be our next animation. And before you go, hit that thumbs up button to like this video and subscribe to our channel to get notified each week when we release a new book summary.